Hi guys, welcome to another video. It's Ndagire here. Thanks for coming. As always, for the subscribers, thank you so much for your time. I always appreciate it. In this video is something tragic that happened to a passport bro, a black man, and it's really sad because I always talk about it in the side of the women, but today it was on the side of the man, and it's sad. Really, it's sad to see. But yeah, guys, watch this clip, come back, and let's talk about it.
Y'all, another passport bro has died. I literally just made a video last week about a passport bro who was killed in Brazil less than 24 hours after he arrived by two women that he invited back to his house. And I was scrolling and I saw on CNN that another passport bro has died. So the first case, like I said, was in Brazil. This guy went to Colombia. He went to Colombia on a solo trip. He died in Colombia. His family was told that his cause of death was a pulmonary embolism, I believe is how you pronounce it, and that was his cause of death. Well, they received his stuff from Colombia, like his suitcase with all his belongings that was in his hotel room. And when they got the stuff back, there was women's items in the suitcase. So there was like a dress, there was earrings, there was heels, like there was a woman with him, even though this was a solo trip. Which now they want it investigated because who was with him? Who was with him on this trip when he died? Because this was a solo trip. That's what they were told. And this article was posted in a Passport Bro Facebook group. So like, the passport bros are being warned about what's going on overseas. I really don't know why his family took it to CNN or took it to the news, because at the end of the day, this happened in another country. There's nothing that the U.S. can do. You got the cause of death. You're never going to get answers, unfortunately. I'm sorry that, your loved one passed away. God rest his soul if he was a good person. But if it is what it sounds like, again, why are men thinking that women can't not be a threat to them? Like, why do men think that women are not capable of committing crimes against them? Like, you will invite a random woman that you don't know from nowhere. You don't know from a campaign, you don't know from Paul. Why are you freaking inviting a woman you don't know in another country who speaks another language? You're in her territory. That's desperation. You are so desperate for some coochie that you disregard your freaking safety. Like, what is not clicking? And I don't know, I was about to stop the video, but I just feel like women, we have like these thoughts in our head. When we go out of town, we are very vigilant. When me and my best friend were in Grenada, even though I love Grenada, it was a very safe country. As soon as we got in the car, we prayed that God would protect us wherever we were going, to get there safely and to get back to the resort safely. Every freaking time. Men, they just don't have that.
Yes, I've been seeing all y'all tagging me about the passport bro situation. This is what I got to say about it. I said I wasn't going to discuss it, but so much no more. Because there's a difference between passport bros and passport pookies. Which is why when I talked about it on my platform, I specifically called them passport pookies, because it's not the same. The actual passport bro is not new. It's not new at all. This has been going on for a long, long time, right? The only difference is you got a bunch of passport pookies who came in and infiltrated the system with their big mouths, blew up the spot, and put a light on something that's been going on for a long time. A lot of the true passport bros, they didn't just go overseas because they were trying to get women. They went overseas because they was tired of the United States in general. They wanted a new start of life and living in a completely different place, and just so happened to meet women over in these new countries that they living in. Passport pookies are just undercover colorists who can't get access to the non-black women over here in the United States that they want. Therefore, they fly overseas, where these women who got the look that they are attracted to are in abundance, and they can get access to them with limited resources and limited game. See, over here in the United States, these women who they're attracted to, they don't have the resources to get them, or they don't have the charisma, the game. They don't have the personality to be able to get these women, right? When you dealing with passport pookies, it's going to be one or the other. Either they not attractive, or they broke, or they don't have good personalities. When I originally seen a dude named Austin, I'm like, okay, he's not a bad looking guy. They say he got a little bit of money. So his problem is probably his personality. And as more and more his content came to the surface, it verified that's exactly what his problem was, right? The women that he was probably trying to get over here in the United States, they were turned off by his personality. He couldn't even go overseas and his personality not still turn those women off, because he just has a bad disposition and demeanor. But no matter how you slice it and dice it, these men are their own problems, right? No matter what country they run to, no matter what type of woman it is, they will always be the problem because they are the common denominator. But again, these are passport pookies, not passport bros. Passport bros mind their business. They overseas living their best life, doing what they do, and they not making YouTube videos about it. They just living their everyday life. So that's my 2 cents.
Basically, pretty much like American men who are like traveling to like Medellin. Obviously, you know, they're considered like the passport bros and stuff like that. They're basically just, you know, turning up. They're having like suspicious deaths reported, and they're basically just being found, you know, wherever they're being found at. And obviously it pertains to, you know, like them going to like the country, I guess like meeting up with women or something like that, and then they just get kidnapped and basically get robbed. Some of them make it out alive, some of them don't, but you know. Now this is just me assuming, I don't know 100%, but more than likely these guys that are like going over there and not coming back with their lives, 9 times out of 10 they probably see dudes on TikTok, you know, taking videos with women, and they're thinking that these guys, you know, they just have women just walking up to them and they're just being super friendly and they're cool and nothing ever happens, blah blah blah. But what they probably don't know is that some of these dudes, they're already paying to like have these women in their videos and paying for these women to like have relations with them and all this stuff. And these dudes seeing these videos are going over there thinking like, you know, shit is sweet. And then dudes that have never been, don't have any experience with women, don't have any experience in traveling to these countries and being way too trustworthy with strangers, complete freaking strangers that are like gorgeous women. And then these women come up to them, 2 of them will come up to them, be like, hey, like, you know, let's hang out, you can come back to our place, blah blah blah. Like it's kind of common sense to know, like, if it's too good to be true, then more than likely it is. No woman, no matter like what she looks like, is just going to invite some random man that she's never met before over to her house when they just freaking met for the first time. That does not happen anywhere at all. And then what happens is they go with these women, they end up at their place, and then they fix them some food or something to drink, and then they consume that, and then all of a sudden they're waking up the next day with all of their shit taken. Like I said earlier in the video, some dudes make it out, some dudes don't. And unfortunately, to the 8 dudes that lost their lives, you know, it's a tragedy, but it's like, you got to move with like common sense. Like if you avoid that kind of lifestyle, like the nightlife with women, drugs, alcohol and sex and all that, you're not going to run into these problems. But if you actually go over there for like their culture, their food, you go to see a museum or like a mountain or a waterfall, something like that, you're going to avoid those issues. But when you're getting involved with like going over these countries just to have, you know, relations with women, you're going to get mixed up in that dangerous lifestyle with people who are just going to unalive you just for your phone and won't think twice about it. Listen, man, at the end of the day, like, do not let these stories that came out about something that happened to like a few men, don't let it scare you from like traveling abroad and going to these countries. Well, obviously there's a bunch of people going there and having good experiences. This is like a less than 1%, you know, situations that are happening to like a couple Americans. If you're a passport bro, listen, I'm not knocking you. Like, I'm not really a big supporter of the passport bro movement and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, I don't blame y'all for going out there and doing what you want to do. All I'm saying is just move accordingly, be careful, be aware of your surroundings, you know, like some tips, maybe like if you're able to contact people like back at home, let them know like, hey, I made it back to my hotel, blah, blah, blah. Don't walk outside anywhere by yourself at night. Don't be freaking flashing like your jewelry, your brand new iPhone 15 Pro Max. If you are walking on like the side of the road by yourself, make sure like you can see the cars like coming your way and not cars that are passing behind you, because if someone tries to roll up on you, try to kidnap you, if the cars are coming from behind you, then you're easily going to get picked up. So yeah, just a couple little tips, but like I said, don't let these little stories like scare you from going there. Traveling is one of the best things you can do, especially traveling to like other countries and stuff like that. There's a lot to see, a lot to learn, places like that.
As a person that is always coming here and encouraging you guys to come into the continent, this is something that I wish the men, whoever you are, from the Western countries or whatever country that you come from, to stop thinking that just because you're a man, nothing is able to happen to you, like nothing's going to happen to you, especially if it's coming from the hands of women. And we need to understand, like, the world is changing, and guys, women now are hustlers. They are looking for ways to get, you know, coin on how to run away from whatever situations that they are in. And I always tell you guys, as a person coming from the Western countries, be it who you are, if you come into any country that is not, let's say, Europe or America, people are going to see you in a different light. Yes, just because you come on the internet and you see these men on social media, be it YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, wherever they might be on any platform, talking about how it's so easy, like the women in these countries, let's say Africa or Asia or Caribbean or whatever, that they are so easy to get. Trust me, they must be so easy to get, but do they come to you at the right intentions? Yes, I don't want to be a judge, because I mean, we all go wherever we want to be appreciated and loved. But just because you have that image on us as, let's say, African women or these other women from other countries, it doesn't mean they are not going to do anything to you. Because if you heard what the lady said, what happened to this man is he probably went out, came back home with ladies, and they maybe somehow allegedly did something to him. Coming from the Western countries, like, it's always going to be something that you have to challenge yourself with when it comes to how you represent yourself. You're not going to come and go in clubs. I'm not saying you can't find love in a club, guys. You can find love wherever place that you can, or I'm not saying you can't find love in a club, guys. You can find love in whatever place that you want, you feel you are able to. I mean, everyone has their luck, right? But like, you can't expect yourself to go like a lot in clubs. Of course, there is enjoyment, and expect to find like really, really genuine women that really are going to see you in the light that you want to be seen. There are so many places that you can go to if you want to find like responsible or like really serious women. It could be in game parks, it can be in restaurants, it can be, you know, in sports places, it can be in these lounge places. Like there's so many like cute places that you can go to as a man and find a woman that is of the purpose that you're probably looking for. But don't overflaunt whatever that you have. I'm not saying, guys, I'm not saying you should not give women money. Like, you need to provide. You need to provide, especially if you're leaving America or Europe thinking you're going to come to other places and these women are not going to ask for anything. That is delusion. Any woman, whoever woman that you're going to meet is going to always expect you to give them something. Some might not ask, some ask, but as a man, you expected to give these women something. But overall, in everything, be mindful. Don't overflaunt your money. I think the biggest thing when it comes to men, it might not be like for women where you don't have to show anything. You just have to be a woman and something happens to you. You know, for the men, I would say it's mostly for the benefit of what I can get from this person. And so it's sad looking at this situation where someone left their country and came to another country and they didn't make it back home. But also there's this misconception where I also had it that any person from, let's say, America, when they come into any other country and something happens to them, the government is just going to come and send help and immediately things are going to be fixed and they're going to do investigation and all that. It's not really the case. It's really not the case. It takes like procedures, you know, and it just gets sad, like you lose loved ones in a foreign country in things that you don't even understand. It's really a sad situation. Like I say, I've shared videos where it's been on the women where they've been taken down by their boyfriends because of course they had money, they had assets, they had all these things going on. And I mean, men can be really intimidated by a woman that has something, or not really intimidated, but they might feel like they can't give them a good like life that can impress them in a way. And I totally understand it. So you might come wanting to show off that you want to, you know, or you can do these things for this person. Just keep it on a low. Keep it on a low. Guys, money can make people do like weird things, like a lot of weird things. I mean, I've also shared videos where African people are taken to the Middle East places to do the worst because of money. So imagine you as a man coming to a different country as a common denominator with the currency that you carry, with the status that you have in whatever way, and showing it off and expect nothing to happen to you. Like, does it make sense? I think we need to be cautious. I'm not trying to scare anyone really to come to any country in the world, mostly Africa, to come and find yourselves happiness, but like, have some caution in you. Like, use your intuition. If you don't have it, look for it. Be mindful. Like the man said as well, try to communicate with some of your people and let them know where you are. Make sure the people that you're hanging out with are worth trusting, you know. And also the drinking, guys. Yes, you might want to enjoy like your life, but still have a cautiousness. Yeah, don't overdrink. There's this thing that I was told: if you go out and you drink on something, if you, let's say, go in the toilet or you want to release yourself, when you come back and you didn't have anyone that you trust on, you know, on your drinks or where you are seated, order another drink, because they can drag you and still do something to you. There's a lot of, like, women cannot come and just beat you around. They just have to use tricks. Yes, you might be distracted by the gorgeousness of, let's say, African women or wherever that you might go, but be be very, very cautious. The drinks you take, the food you eat, the places you go to, the people around you, the places that you sleep in. There's also a video I did some time back about a passport bro that went to, was it Colombia or Dominican Republic? Yeah, one of those two places. He went there and he he didn't have money. Imagine getting on a flight and just having the money to take you and maybe go and enjoy with women, but you don't have money to take you back to your country. What kind of a person is that? Is that a person that is responsible? Like, you went to have fun, but you don't even have money to take you back to your country. And I remember he was on the internet calling for help, asking for money, asking for a fundraiser for people to help him, send him money so he could go back home. Guys, that's hilarious. Honestly, that's hilarious. We need to be responsible people. Yeah, that is it really. Not to discourage you, like I said. Go wherever you feel comfortable. Just go with a safe mindset and, you know, be cautious. Be cautious. Guys, that is it for me in the video. Let me know what you think about this. I'll always share about these things and bring them to you so you can be warned. You can be warned and, you know, understand what's going on. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.